Hello again, everybody. Back with you for another video. Some of you might be surprised after my last video that you're seeing me back again today. But I decided to go ahead and go along with my idea of ranking the Scorpions' 80s discography, going through it song by song, album by album, song by song, and kind of give a mathematical rating of these albums. I don't know how long this will take me. There's 4 albums to do, 9 songs each. But today I went ahead and knocked out Animal Magnetism, their album from 1980. This was the second album of theirs I ever owned on cassette. Of course, those of you who follow my channel, this record was a VCLT from Pavet, the channel ClarkoVision, to complete my 80s vinyl collection for Scorpions. Turn this light on because I need a little more light to see what I wrote down. Track 1, Make It Real. I rated that a 6.5. Partly because I feel as you've heard me mention in a previous video, I like the live version of that song better than the studio version. I don't think it's the same song, yeah, but I don't think the studio version flows as well as the live version. The live version has more tempo to it, I think. Good song nonetheless. I rated it a 6.5. I'll admit that overall, I found myself to be a little more impressed with this album on this listen. There are some things I knew I really liked, but even the stuff I don't like as much as others, I liked a little more on this listen than I thought I would. Some of you might think that I'm a little too hard on it, maybe I am, but considering it's an album from 1980. But I'm trying not to be a total fanboy here. Second song, Don't Make No Promises. That song is probably my favorite song on the album. One of my top 3, as a matter of fact. Maybe one other one that will knock it out of the top spot. And I'm sure most of you can figure out what that one is, but I gave the song Don't Make No Promises an 8. Good driving guitar. Really hard rocking song. I considered giving it a 9, maybe possibly even 10, but little cheese factor in the lyrics, but what can you expect? It's 80s rock and roll, right? So that song came in at an 8. The third song, Hold Me Tight. This is ranked what you might say rather low, but I thought I would write it lower than I did. Again, the tempo is kind of it's a slower moving song. Still a good rock song, but I rated that song out of 10, I rated it a 5.5. Song number 4, 20th Century Man, which has always been one of my least favorite songs on the album. I rated a 5. To me, it's always given me a meh reaction. Uh, yeah. Now, this might surprise some people. Maybe not, who knows. But the lowest rated song I rated on here is the ballad from the album Lady Starlight. I rated that a 4.5. I don't know. I'll try to stop saying but I don't know. Klaus's vocals kind of seemed lost in the mix to me on this listen. I don't know exactly why. It's a beautiful song, but it kind of bored me a little bit. I don't know. The outro took a little too long too. So rate that song 4.5 out of 10. These next two songs are really fun. Number 6, Falling in Love. I was this close to rating it a 7.5 or an 8. But I rated it a 7. Only because Klaus is going, after Falling in Love kind of got on my nerves. So that deducted points for that song, but it checks in at 7 out of 10. The next song, Only a Man, almost made it to an 8. But maybe I'm being that it's an 80s rock, being a little too rough on the cheese factor, but the cheese factor in the lyrics, I deducted some points from that because of, I don't know, the cheese factor. So that got to 7.5. Now comes one of their most classic, one of their biggest hits. It's been in their set list for almost 40 years now and has never left their set list. The song The Zoo. Again, that's another one. I like this live version a little more. But although they only do one verse of the song in the live version usually. But the song The Zoo got an 8.5 out of 10 from me. What else can be said? Just one of their great songs that they've ever had. Now the last song, the title track to this album, I rated 7 out of 10. Animal Magnetism. Now apparently there was another song called Animal Magnetism that they wrote, but they rewrote it, and this version of the title track made the album. I rated this 7 out of 10. Now, I got to be careful how I phrase this because I don't want to tick anybody off. But the whole feel of this song, from its tempo to the sound of Klaus's voice to it, just the song just screams dirty hardcore sex. It's, you know, it's a few years before those sex anthems like Rock You Like a Hurricane, etc. But this song just oozes sexuality. Um, that song scored a 7 out of 10 for me, bringing, if I did my math correctly, the average score for this album is 6.61. So 6.61 for Animal Magnetism from 1980. Of course, next will be Blackout from 1982, which I hope to get to within the next day or two. But anyway, music lovers, you take care. Have a good day. I'll talk to you again soon.